When you hear the name Omari Thomas, you may think of a star defensive lineman, a team captain for the Vols. But after this interview, I got to know him as a pillar in his community, such a down-to-earth person, and most importantly, a family man. With that being said, he's now entering the 2025 NFL Draft. Who is Omari Thomas?
I would say Omari Thomas is a kid who just likes to have fun, likes to enjoy life every day. Thankful for every day that I get a chance to wake up. Person who loves his family, loves to hang out with his friends, loves to just, be a light to people. I like to shine. I like to, just bless other people's lives. I like to just interact with other people. That's who I am. I'm just chill, just be living my life for real.
So, a lot of you all may know Amari for being a football player. Do you want to tell them a little bit about that, and then I'll go on further with what I was going to say?
Okay, yeah. So I played at Tennessee for 5 years, from 2020 to this past year, 2024, 2025. But I'm a football player. I played defensive line, defensive tackle. I was number 21. It was amazing. I enjoyed Tennessee. It's not too far from home. I'm from Memphis, so I still got a chance to just be able to drive home, see my family when I wanted to, but still be able to just get back to school and just stay up there a little minute away from them too. But it was amazing. I really enjoyed Tennessee.
Yeah, and we were actually just talking about how we both have in common that we majored in journalism.
Yeah.
And then when you say that you love to interact with other people, that just made my mind go off. Like, no wonder
Yeah.
he majored in that. But can
Yeah.
you just tell us just a little bit about why you pursued that major? And, is that your backup plan?
Yeah, it's really I pursued the major. I wanted to do some not necessarily like business wise. I wanted to just somewhere I can interact with people, talk to people, still learn from other people that I'm in a class with, and different things like that. It was something that I really just enjoyed. Like, I enjoy talking to people, but at the same time I can still be kind of introvert. But for the majority of it, I enjoy talking to people, just having true interactions, genuine interactions with people, just walking around. And my mom, she actually like focused in the communication, like journalism area when she was in college and a little bit out of college. So I guess like it really just rubbed off on me to like just naturally just talk to people and different things like that. So that's why I just went and continued to do that for my major.
Yeah. Speaking of your mom, I got the pleasure of being able to interview her.
Yeah.
And she's actually, well, was a school teacher.
Yeah, she
Still
was.
is, right?
Well, basically, yeah, she's
Okay.
like over attendance and everything, but she does still work at her school.
Okay, awesome. And you were actually a student in her class.
Yeah, I was.
I asked her how you were. I was like, give me all the tea. I want to know. And she was like, no, Jakai, like, I'm not making this up. He was literally perfect in my class. Like,
Yeah.
can you just go into detail? Where did you learn? Like, I'm envious of students like you who just wake up and you're just naturally just great. Where do you get that from?
Nah, I feel like, so in my house, it was really my mom, like I said, she was a school teacher, so she pushed that like overly, like for me and my sister, that like, y'all not gonna do nothing if y'all don't get these grades. So like it was just in my sister, me and my sister, to just like, we want to go do what we want to do. We want to go play these sports that we interact with all our friends, that like we got to do our schoolwork. We got to do it. And my sister, she always would make sure that I'm doing my schoolwork and stuff, like just so I want to get home, go outside and play. Like, so that's how I was growing up. And they just made sure, my sister made sure, you do your schoolwork first. So mom not yelling at you, dad not yelling at you, so that way you're able to go do it. And that's just how it was. But being in my mom's class, like, it was fun. Like, it was actually fun, because it's just like, and everybody assumed like I would go home just like get all the answers and stuff from her. I'm like, no, it's actually harder. Like, it's kind of worse that I'm in the class, like, and she's my teacher, but she made it fun. She didn't treat me no differently than anybody else in the class. That's not the type of person she is. Like, everything equal, everything fair. You get a bad grade on something, like, you was gonna keep that bad grade. You got everybody else extra credit. You got to make it up somehow. But She was a great teacher for me. She always just talked about life lessons and incorporating other things into our, lesson for the day or different things like that. But overall, she was a great teacher as well.
How has the lessons that she's taught you in life spilled over to your professional career?
I would say really, she just taught me a lot, like really just to be a nice person, like just to enjoy the people around you, enjoy every moment that you in, and don't look too far ahead. Just always be where your feet are and like enjoying that specific moment. And that's something that I feel like I just take with me in everything that I do, whether I'm on the field, I'm just enjoying being on the field, like everything that's problems or whatever I may have, like all that is isolated. I'm just focused right now on being on the field, having fun with my teammates, my brothers, like go make a play, like just enjoy everything about it, enjoy the scenery, the fans. So that's something that I just take and implement. Everything that I do is just to enjoy being in that moment or where I am at that point.
Yeah. And still speaking about family, is there a certain time that your family has rallied around you and supported you through a super hard time and you've gotten through it?
I would say my family, they always, come together. Like if I have to make any type of decision or anything like that, for instance, like just picking where I want to go to high school at, like they had their input or different things like that, but they always just rallied behind me and just made sure I was okay with the decision that I made, everything like that, like to attend the high school that I did attend, or when it came down to picking colleges, what colleges I was going to go to, like of course everyone had different schools that they may have liked that I might not like,
Yeah.
but you hear that we have we call them little family meetings. Like we have a little family meeting where everybody just talk from in my household, and it's just always worked out for us. And everything that we do, we all just able to push each other and make sure that everyone in the house knows that like we all here together. We are family. Like we doing this together. So if somebody got to sacrifice, we all sacrificing like for the family in general. And one thing I appreciate my family for all the sacrifices, and things that they have done for me to help me get to a place where I feel like I can always, just be helpful, be grateful for the position that I'm in, and grateful that I'm capable to have them in my lives and help them with everything that they do as well.
LaWanda Thomas, Omari's mother, speaks with deep gratitude when she reflects on the man her son has become. While Omari feels the unwavering support of his family, he also offers that same support in return, constantly reminding his mom to replace her worries with prayer rather than to stress over life's challenges.
Having so many people to look up to him in a positive role and want him to just kind of be there as a role model for other young men coming in. So I can't say how proud of him I am, and I just wish the best for him, and I pray for him daily. He and my daughter are just like this. It's the two of them. He's my one and only son. And, I just can't say how proud of him I am, because you have so many people that's out on the streets doing so much other stuff. And I can't say that. And I'm so blessed and thankful that I can't say that he's given me any kind of problems like that. He's pretty much done what I've asked him, my husband and I. Mm-hmm.
How has that, because what I'm hearing from you is they ultimately taught you all healthy communication and how to be able to communicate and have disputes or, have disagreements, but healthily. How has that communication spilled into your own personal relationships outside of your family?
Yeah, I feel like just being able to communicate with anybody, like it makes a big step for y'all friendship, relationship, anything like that. Like, like having my friends on the field, like you have to be able to communicate on the field. So just learning that and just being a leader on the team, just being able to know that I got to hold people accountable. And I'm not the type of person. I'm not a yeller. I'm not a cuss you out type of person. Like I more so want to get to know you, know the relationship that we have, so I know how to address you as like I'm trying to lead you or help you grow, so that way you can be able to help me grow as well. And I just think communication is just really important in a lot of the things that we do in everyday life, honestly.
How would you describe growing up in Memphis?
Growing up in Memphis, it's cool. Like, it's real cool. You have a lot of, you got the Grizzlies there. You got the Memphis Redbirds. So, like, I grew up loving basketball, loving baseball. So, we would go to plenty of those type games. Of course, you got the bad parts of the city, but like, you might go over there sometimes to get some food, a little hole in the wall, like the hole, the hole in the walls that be going crazy.
They
But
do.
yeah, so you gotta go get some of that. But everything was cool. Like everybody that like growing up in elementary school, everything in Memphis, like all the people that I met, all the friends I made, like the sports teams I played on, everybody is just so competitive and just so appreciative of each other. Like, of course, you have, some people are like jealousy a lot in Memphis, but like a lot of the people that I was around, like we still friends to this day from being like 6, 7 years old. So it means a lot to just know that like those are the type of people I was growing up with. Our families love each other. Like, all my friends, like we consider each other family. So it was amazing growing up in Memphis.
You mentioned jealous people. How have you dealt with jealous people, or have you ever dealt with jealousy because you don't surround yourself with it, or have you experienced somebody being jealous of you?
No, you definitely know. I mean, I can kind of feel energy. I feel like a lot of people can feel energy. And people around you that's not necessarily genuine, and you just have to isolate yourself from that. You just slowly see yourself moving away, and just growing up, different people have different goals. You see as you continue to get older and different things that people just might not want the same thing as you. So it might not. You can still be cool with them, but that might not be my area where I need to hang out with y'all all the time because I might be trying to do something else. But just when people usually jealous around you, like they're not really for you anyway. I would say I never really experienced like from tight in like my inner circle like jealousy or anything like that. Like it's always just been love, like from the day, like from day one. Honestly, just being able to know that we there for each other, no matter what. Like everything we go through, like we a friend group. You know what I mean? Like that's how me and my friends talk, and my family. Like of course, no jealousy or anything like that from my family, but you can from the outside, like the people that's not you not necessarily so close with, you can see it, and you just you don't even entertain it. Like it's like because I'm big on not letting people affect the way like how I feel or anything like that because it's my body, my life. Like I control my emotions. So
I love that. I was actually, when you were speaking, I thought of your mom, Miss Tawanda. She told me that, well, we were talking about, when you see like those draft videos and like they're about to get drafted and like where the mom is like hogging up all the camera space and the girlfriend's like, oh my
I've
gosh.
seen it.
And
I've
then
seen
the
it.
guy's just like, okay, like
I've seen it.
it's my time. But I brought that up to her and she was like, that's so true. I've seen that before. But she was like, the amazing thing about our family and the people who you surround yourself with is like, it's about you and like they could care less. Like, oh, he's so amazing at this profession. Oh, he's so amazing at football. Like they care genuinely about you as a person. How does that make you feel?
It made me feel great, honestly. Like just being able, I feel like having your family, your inner circle, like it's no one's never gonna feel like the way they do about you. Like no matter what, like wrong, good, and like everything. Like you do something wrong, they gonna be able to there to hold you accountable and correct you. You do something right, they gonna be the first one celebrating you. Like, and I just think that's what family and just being able to have those everyone around. It just means a lot to me. Like just to know that they support me like that, always just putting me first because I'm always trying to put them first. So it's just amazing and just I feel like it's just we complement each other. Like everybody know like we doing this, we a family. Like everybody needs to be supporting each other. There's no reason for us to be apart or anything like that. And that's just how I was raised, how I live to this day. Like just always being there for my family no matter what.
Okay, so take me back to the University of Tennessee, playing football there, coaching up under Coach Garner. Love you.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about, I saw in an interview, you said he can really help transition boys into men. Can you talk about in what ways his coaching style has not only made you a better player, but also a person as well?
Yeah, Coach G, love Coach G, great guy. Nah, for real, great guy. But the way Coach G coaches, he hard, like he's on you, like he'll get on your tail for real. He'll cuss you out, different things like that. But no matter what, at the end of the day, when you go back into those meeting rooms before you leave off the field for real, you're gonna know that he truly loves us, like he truly cares about us, and everything he's doing is like for a reason. Like he just wants us to be the best version of us off the field and on the field. And that's why I feel like so many people like have so much respect for Coach G the way they do, because he's everything. All the players that I talk to, like they say he's been the same. Like he's always just pushing you to be the best on and off the field, and just having him come in, because he wasn't there at first when I first got to Tennessee. So having him come in, I know. Yeah, having him come in and just continue to be the guy who he is, like it was amazing for the culture of our room, the culture of the team in general. I feel like that's when we really took a step as a D-line of just being true leaders of the team, like, and everybody just continued to, I feel like everyone felt our energy, everyone appreciated us, loved us, would call us the funniest group on the team. Like everybody just loved the D-line. I feel like Coach G just played like such big role in that, because it resembles of who he is as a person, like just being able to get things done with me in between the lines, but he joking off the field, you know, having fun and everything like that. And just checking up on you, like really just making sure that you're good and everything mentally, checking on your family, like whenever you hear something wrong or anything like that. So Coach G a great guy. And I feel like when you have a leader like that for the room, it makes it easy to be a leader in the room. So you just try to be an example of that. And I feel like and of course you're gonna do things in your own way, but I feel like if you have a person ahead of you that's you're able to strive to be like, and just you see how family guy, he does everything the right way. So it's great for everybody who's been in the defensive line room with Coach G to just see that and know that we have something to look forward to.
Right. Tell me a story about when Coach G, has he ever cussed you out?
Yeah, he
Give
has.
us the story. We want to know, right?
No,
guys?
it's like we had this sled called Big Mama, and it's
Okay.
it's so funny. We'll just be in a meeting room and he'd be like, you know, I feel like we need to go to Big Mama house today. Everybody, like, this is the first time, this is the first time he has said it. He like, I feel like we need to go to Big Mama house today. I'm like, Big Mama house? Like, what is he talking about? And he like, yeah, y'all need a good home cooking. So we like, oh, okay, we don't know what he talking about. So we go through the whole practice. We still haven't seen nothing like a Big Mama. We like, okay, he was just talking. To the end of practice, and mind you, in this is why it's not funny, but this is why it was so funny, because I had a little headache, like a little concussion actually during practice, so I wasn't really doing anything.
Yeah.
And then it's just like at the
God.
end, I was like, I still was practicing everything, but it just wasn't crazy. And he was like, nah, your ass still hitting Big Mama, like he's just making sure. And it's a sled for one person to push it, but it's the like size for 3 people.
Ooh.
So like it's different for sure. But you know, Big Mama, everybody gets the treatment. Everybody gets the treatment. You gotta go and you hit it until he gets tired. So you just going until Coach G feel like that you're ready to get off of it. Yeah, but you know that's my one little story with Coach G. Really, Coach G, he always looked out with me. He was just joking and everything, but he was a great guy. But yeah, Big Mama,
Ooh.
it was crazy. It was crazy.
Oh,
But mine
Lord.
wasn't the worst. I've seen guys like almost pass out from like
That's what I was gonna say. I would
like,
literally be like, I'm going to
yeah.
pass out.
Yeah, mine wasn't the worst. I've seen guys actually like start throwing up right here, and he's still, let's go. And us as a team, we like, let's go. We cheering them on. Like, you
Yeah.
got to do it. Like, everybody got to do it. It's just part of the treatment, Coach G treatment.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Coach G treatment. That makes so much sense. Like, even him being a leader for my dad too when he was
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
In Auburn, just recruiting him. But
Mm-hmm.
like, it makes sense now because when you were telling that story, I even think just like being up under like that type of mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like if I would get in trouble at school, my dad would then make me like run laps around the
Yeah.
neighborhood. And this one time, I actually wasn't throwing up, but I was acting like I was throwing up to make me stop,
Yeah.
and he never did.
Yeah.
So, but can you just talk about that mentality that you all have, especially being on the D line? Like, I was actually just talking to this guy the other day. He's a photographer, and he's like, to be on the D line, like, there has to be something not right up here. Like, can you talk about that mentality that you guys have?
It's you know, it's a crazy. I would say it's a crazy mentality because like you love the physicality of it. Like you know every play, like you gonna get hit, like you gonna get touched every play. Like it doesn't matter what you do, you gonna get touched. Someone, offensive line, they gonna hold you. Like it might not call it majority of the time, especially in the SEC, they're not calling holding for a defensive lineman. So just little stuff like that. Like you learn to just actually play through adversity a lot because especially in that one-on-one right there on that line of scrimmage, like you might start out losing your rep, like, but it's so easy to flip it and just actually win your rep. And it's just little stuff like that. I feel like being a D lineman, like you really play through a lot of adversity. I would say that it's one of the hardest positions, like actually like playing football because of the reasons that you get touched every time. And, you got to know different formations still being a defensive lineman as well. But I feel like some D linemen we pretty crazy, but for the most part, everyone has like a common thing of D linemen are always like funny guys. Like they always are good people, but they and funny guys. Like, and it's just I feel like just being around a lot of the D linemen, I can see that, and I was proud of myself and say I'm pretty funny, kinda. I'll be chilling, but just a good guy, And I feel like just having that D-line mentality when you go out there, you're trying to dominate and everything like that. But when we get off the field, we're the coolest people to be around.
I love that. So moving on, I did see that you were a part of the Vol Leaders. Vol Leaders. So tell me about Vol Leaders. You going to Africa. I loved how you said in the interview that I actually got this information from, that when you were going, it wasn't necessarily about what do I have, like, do I have money that I need to just get out of my pocket and just give them? It was more so just like you learning from them. Can you just go into more detail about why learning from someone can be even more valuable than always feeling like you have to give?
Yeah, Vol Leaders, it was amazing. Like getting that opportunity to go to Rwanda, it was amazing. And like our whole class, like I'll just explain what Vol Leaders is as well, and it'll go into it. But like Vol Leaders is like a leadership academy where different coaches mix all athletes, female, male, like where your coach actually like nominates you to be in the academy, where he sees you as an upcoming leader for the team. So you go into the academy during the fall, like you're actually taking like a class like one time a week actually, and it's where you just go learn about leadership, different things like who you are, the type of leaderships there is, who you are as a leader, how to just interact with people as being a leader, different things like that. And in the spring we do a lot of hands-on, like we would go into the indoor facility, just play a lot of games, where we have to interact with each other, but we wouldn't talk. So that way, when we got to Rwanda, like the language barrier, we still knew how we could interact with each other, play games, explain directions, and not have that, communication piece of it. So that was good in that as well. But our trip, like our group, we really just wanted to, like, we had came together. We was like, would it be cool, like, we got some money, like, and just gave to a group or something like that. But it was like, it's not necessarily about that. Like, it's about the experience, being able to go to Rwanda and, like, actually, like, learn from them. Like, they always, I feel like you might see a lot of things where it says, like, Africa is, like, sad, different things like that. Like, people don't necessarily enjoy it. And I was like, but they got a lot to offer, just like we have to offer. Like, their living situations is how they live. And when we went over there, we still, of course, took, like, different shoes, different, like, sporting equipment, tennis racks, and everything is like that. And they were so, like, go over there, you see kids. I know, like, I like fashion and different things like that, and I'll be upset if I miss a pair of getting a pair of shoes or something like that. But kids over there, they had one pair of shoes, and when we gave them more shoes, like they were grateful, but they were like, "Oh, I have this one pair, I'm good." Like they were just so happy, like to just have that one pair of shoes, and it just show you like different things, like how you just gotta continue to be grateful for every minor thing that you get. And the trip, like overall, it was amazing. Like just getting the chance to, we talk in our group chat all the time, and we just like we need to get another trip going to Rwanda. Like it was actually amazing. We did a lot of just giving back in the community there, playing tennis. We visited the genocide, different things for the genocide. We went gorilla trekking. That was experience right there. That was the experience. But everything other than that, like it was great. Like it was really great, for real.
Can you tell me why the University of Tennessee? Why did you commit to the University of Tennessee?
For me, at the time, I wanted to play in the SEC for sure. I know for sure I wanted to play in the SEC, and being from Memphis, like I'm a Tennessee guy. I love Tennessee, but I never really watched like like I didn't watch a lot of football really growing up. And when I did watch football, like my mom like Miami and my dad like Florida State. So I would watch a lot of Florida State, and I would say I would watch a lot of LSU. Like those are the two teams that I would say that I really watched a lot growing up. But then I would start seeing more about Tennessee. I would see the great uniforms and stuff they had. I'm like, hold up, like I kind of like Tennessee, just as a kid growing up seeing everything that catches the eye for real. So then like when we actually got into the process and everything, like the coaches, they always just show love to me, like show love to my family, coming to see my grandparents, like a lot of things that a lot of schools other schools wasn't really doing. But at the same time, like when I came to Tennessee, like I felt so comfortable here. Like I visited here maybe, well, not necessarily here, but I visited at Tennessee like 4 or 5 times before. Like I was like, yeah, like I'm ready to commit for real. And it was amazing. Like every time I went back, like I knew guys on the team already that was from Memphis, other schools, other cities, and different things like that. I was like, yeah, I could see myself playing here, and I got along with the coaches, everything, like my position coach at the time. And then I was kind of tested for Tennessee because I had committed early, and I necessarily didn't have to commit early. And right when I committed early, like my coaches like had changed and left. So I was like, dang, like did I really just make the wrong decision or something like that? And I was just like, like I still like I didn't necessarily just choose the school during the process. I was looking at schools where I know I could benefit life after football, and if football was to not be there, would I still enjoy going to this school in general? And that's how I was looking at schools. And Tennessee was a school that I really like enjoyed, and it ended up just working out for the best. Like everybody that I met at Tennessee, all the relationships I built, all the coaches I had, teammates, like I wouldn't change no part of it, honestly. And it was just amazing, and it got me to this point right now.
So can we talk about, you just said it got me to this point to where I'm at right now. So tell us, you're about to you're entering into the NFL draft 2025. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
How does that feel, if you're even able to talk about it? And
Yeah.
how is like your mindset, going into it?
No, it feels good. It feels good. Definitely just being able to be in this position, this blessing, like to have the opportunity to enter into the draft. Like a lot of people don't even get that opportunity in itself. So, this time right now is a lot of just, working out, getting your mind right, getting your body right, growing into being a better you, doing everything that you want to do, what makes you happy, what makes you tick. That's been a lot of what I've been doing, just journaling a lot when I get home, trying to read books more, just little stuff that I've been doing like during this time of the pre-draft, just to make sure that myself is at the highest level. I'm trying to go play at the highest level of football. Like I just want to make sure that I'm entering that space with clear mind, no stress, anything like that. Just this whole time being consistent in my work, being consistent in my routine and everything that I do, and just just putting it all in God's hands. So that way, when I'm knowing that I'm putting everything out there for myself, like I feel like when it's in God's hands, I'm just being consistent. And what I do is all work out how it's supposed to.
That is so true because before this interview, when cameras weren't on, we were talking about just like that competitive spirit. Like, you know, in life, people may feel like, you know, like I have to beat this person in
Right.
order to be quote unquote the best. And like that's a fine mentality too, but
Right.
I like how you're saying that you really value and cherish competing with yourself so that you can get even better and better and better. Why is it important that you see personal growth within yourself during this time?
Well, like I said, I like to I like to help people. I like to, be encouraging to other people. I just feel like it's hard to encourage other people or lead other people around you when you're not necessarily being the best version of yourself. And that's just how I always looked at things. I'm like, if you want to lead somebody, you want to be an example for somebody, like you have to make sure that you holding yourself accountable too. And that's why I just really started growing more in like the making sure that I'm straight for myself, like making sure everything like it's not necessarily a selfish mindset, but it's just making sure that like I'm putting myself at the best potential so that way I'm able to do everything that live how I want to live, interact with people, just be a light for people, different things like that. So that's where it kind of came from for real.
What team would you want to go to?
I would love to go to the Carolina Panthers because that's my favorite football team. Like that team when Cam Newton was there. Like I really enjoyed that team. But I would that team or any tax-free like state.
Really?
Yeah, I'll be straight with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so why
I'll be straight with it.
why is that important to you?
I feel like that's money. Given that tax, that's money. Especially in the league, you have different type of tax, different things like that. Going to play in another city, you get taxed for playing in that city, like because you work there. Just little stuff like that. I feel like if I'm, in a city where I'm on a team where I don't have to pay state tax, like there's more money that's able to go in my pocket that I'm able to invest, able to save for generational wealth. That's just how I be thinking.
That is so crazy because I'm sure, and I'm not generalizing and talking about everybody here. I'm just saying, usually when you're like fresh out of college in the position that you're in, you know, not a lot of people probably would think like that.
Yeah, I feel like, having NIL and stuff like that in college, it kind of make you like, cause I was in college where we didn't get like paid, and then we started getting paid, and like you just see how like, oh, like this is way more money than just your scholarship check, your cost of attendance check. And it's like you're not trying to just spend all this money right now. Like you want to save some. So, and I would say that Tennessee, they did a great job on like just bringing people in as well, different financial management people, like just being able to know that you need to save your money, different tax things, going to the SEC Leadership Council stuff. Like they always would bring in like a rep for financial stuff, and just taught us little stuff like that. And I feel like that's something that stick with me because like no matter what you do, when you get to the like you start getting money, income coming in, like you want to be able to have that money, live your life how you want to. But I feel like I'm big on creating like generational wealth, so that way I'm able to take care of my family, my kids when I have some, like the people around me, just able to get them some, but still able to enjoy some myself and just know that we cool.
That is so smart. Yeah, that's really smart. With that being said, I'm sure there's a lot of young boys who look up to you, who want to be where you are. Do you have just any advice for them that you can give them?
Yeah, I would say, really just buy into what you do, believe in what you do, and also young, do your schoolwork, go to school, enjoy school, like create those friendships, those relationships at school, because those are people that you can bond with for the rest of your life, and you might not even know it because you're so young. But just continue to have fun. Everything you do, like have fun. I feel like I play the joy, like the game of football brings me so much joy because I actually like have fun while I'm out there. Like just being able to celebrate the hard work that we put in with each other. Like knowing it's not gonna be easy, but everything that you do isn't gonna be easy in life. So you have to just be able to know that you have to attack adversity, and when it comes, like just be ready to knock it down.
And for any team we're speaking into existence that selects you, what can they expect to be getting in a teammate and in a person?
For any team that selects me, really just a person that's gonna be consistent, show up every day, bring the same attitude, same will to work on the field, a will to get better, be a good teammate, just being able to be somebody that everybody like bring a light to a team, light to the locker room. Person who works hard, a person who really just enjoys life, enjoys the game of football, loves the game of football, and just love everybody who buys into that and just want to be better and be great as a team.
And I do want to mention this for my Auburn fans out there. You've been to Auburn before.
Yes, I did.
Can you tell me about the
I
time when
have.
you went to Auburn?
Yeah, I don't remember the year, but I went to Auburn for a official visit, and the game I went to was, of course, the Iron Bowl, and Auburn had beat Alabama in that Iron Bowl, and it was amazing. Like it was actually amazing. I got a chance to see. I don't want to mispronounce it. What's the corner?
Toomer's Corner.
Toomer's Corner, and they got whole thing TP. Like it was amazing. It was literally amazing. Cool city. It was some good food around there too. Like it was just real cool. It was kind of laid back for real in Auburn. It was good though.
Last question, I do just want to speak on, you were team captain too for a point, correct?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was like for 3 years.
Yes, so that just speaks to who you are as a leader. Can you just speak on, for whatever team selects you in the NFL draft, what type of leadership will you be bringing to the team as well?
Yeah, the type of leader I am, like I said before, I'm big on creating relationships first with people, so that way, like, they actually, when I'm able to come to them and just, if I'm doing the right thing, I want to be able to come to you in no disrespectful way, but you know that, like, oh, you need to be better yourself, or if I'm tripping, like, you can come correct me. I feel like being a leader, everybody needs to know that, like, you're equal as a team, like, you're trying to all accomplish one goal at the end of the day, and that's to win. That's to get to the best game, which in fact in the NFL will be the Super Bowl. So you're trying to, everything is pushing towards that goal. And when we off this field, like that's when you worry about all your problems, everything. But when we out here, this is where we come together. Like this should be a safe space for all of us to just enjoy everything that we do. And that's just the type of leader I am, to just get people involved and actually buy into and believe in what the culture is producing, what the culture is pushing. Because I feel like if we all doing that and we all pushing everything in the right way, then it's hard to, deny a team that's doing everything the right way and actually believe, have fun in what they doing.
I feel like if someone were to gift you $1 billion,
Yeah.
you wouldn't even be able to tell that you're a billionaire because you're not flashy. You are super humble, down to earth.
Yeah.
Can you speak about humility, especially being in a position where you don't have to be humble at all? You could really be super cocky.
Yeah, I feel like it goes big into the way I was raised, for real. Like, no matter what, like, my parents always made sure I had everything that I wanted, like, every iPod, little PSP, like, any little thing, like, me and my sister, we had it. But it's like we never were big on, like, material things. Like, we were big on just go touch grass, like, get outside, like, go do something, like, go have fun with the people that's in the neighborhood. And like, always just respecting everybody, like, no matter what, like, when you see a person, like, respect them, like, anything like that, no matter who they is, what they do, like, treat everybody with the same amount of respect. I vividly remember, like, it just came to my head, in, like, my elementary school, we always, because I went to a Catholic school, like, and it was, yeah,
Oh,
but
wow.
they would have always a sign, like it was just had the golden rule, like treat people how you want to be treated. And like that's something like I saw like every day growing up in elementary school, and that's what my family preached to me. Like I preach that to the people that I'm around, like just always following the golden rule, like treat people how you want to be treated. I feel like a person can feel the amount of respect and how you treat them, like actually being genuine and authentic with a person, like they have no choice but to give you the real back, because like you would be, I feel like you just would be able to feel it. And I feel like that's just how everybody should live life, you know, just and live life to the fullest. Enjoy your life, but never discredit discredit anybody for what they doing in life or anything like that, because like that's how they want to live it. But always just be able to have respect for people and anything that you do. Like on the field, you playing against a good player, like you can respect a good player, but he know you got to get it too. But like every day in life, like, and that's just, I feel like that's how I was raised for real. Just being able to respect everybody and treat everybody with, like, make everybody feel important. That's how everybody should feel, like that they like a star in their own life, because like how people should treat them and how they should treat people, because everything is just important and going into things like that. Like I'm big on like just make sure everybody know like, nah, you important, like, and nobody is bigger than anybody. Like we all equal. Like, and that's why I was saying I really appreciate my family for never like trying to put me on a pedestal or anything for playing college football up to this point. Like they treat me like a regular person. Like, and I feel like that's how I think of myself too. Like, yeah, I play football, but like I love football, so it doesn't bring me like no distractive kind of light or anything like that. I'm just always just try to be the most humble, the most blessed. Like I'm just appreciating. I feel like everything is a blessing. Like for this point, honestly.
You didn't mention how you fell in love with the game, though.
I fell in love with the game really. I would say I was probably like 6 years old, 6, 7 years old playing football. And like, I love football like all the time, but like I said, I would never really watch football. Like, I just big on wasn't watching really TV for real. But I was watching the Super Bowl. Like I would watch at the Super
For the
Bowl. Yeah,
commercials?
Super Bowl party. Like I'm watching the Super Bowl. But like my little league football team was called the Whitehaven Cowboys. And like yeah, we called it Whitehaven Cowboys. And like one of my coaches had died, like, and he was like a person like that I really had looked up to and everything like that. And just being I always remember when I was younger, like I was like, I can't wait to get to coach Tank team, like, and because he would coach the older guys. So when I had got a little older and stuff, like I was on his team, he had died, but it always was like amazing just to like, he really made me love football, like just being able to be out there. My dad was a coach too, but like I'm like, man, I'm not really focused on my dad for real. Like I go home with him, I live with him, but the coach Tank, he always like just made me like really enjoy being out there. You know, young, being able to just go hit somebody, like it's fun. That's fun, like, and that's where I really just grew the love for the game for real.
That's amazing. So the charity work that you did with Vol Leaders, how did that inspire you, you know, to continue giving back?
Yeah, it actually inspired me a lot to just, I actually had started a nonprofit organization called O Cares Foundation, and like we would just I did 2 like back to school drives where back at my old elementary school where my mom works, like we did 2 back to school drives there, where we just had, you know, like I'm out there taking pictures with different people who pull up, like school supplies, like different bouncy house, food, like food trucks, different little things. Like everything was just so set out perfectly, and we just had a chance to just give back to the kids. And then I also had a football camp, like through so back at my high school. So it was fun to just be able to go back and just do stuff like that. And it just means a lot to get back to the community that I came from, to the people that's looking up to me. I just want to continue to be an example for people who are looking up to me, people in the Memphis community, and know that like it's cool to do stuff like that. It's cool to like when you on a level or something, like nobody, you not above nobody, like you can come back, you can get in with those people as well. And I just want to continue to be an example for that, but it was cool.
Your mom spoke about that
Mhm,
too.
yeah, she probably did for
She
sure.
spoke about the smiles on the kids'
Yeah,
faces.
it was actually like it was so touching. Like whole time, like I'm thinking of it, I'm like I know it's gonna be cool. Like, but it was when, especially for the first one, I'm like I don't know how it's gonna turn out. I don't know how people gonna necessarily find out about it. But like my mom, my sister, my aunts, like my grandma, like they all just made sure everything was just planned out. They let me know, of course, like what I would need to pay for, different things like that. But they just let me know like we gonna have this, we gonna do this, like what's your thoughts on this, just helping me set up everything, like, and it made it so easy, like, and I feel like everybody just came out there and just enjoyed everything. It was amazing.
That is so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then what time of the year does that start so that kids know when to go?
Like the summer, it's in the summer. It's usually like towards the end of July.
Okay.
Like towards the end of July, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, with that being said, thank you so
Yeah, nah,
much
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
for coming
I
on the
appreciate
podcast.
it, yeah.
I really, really, really do appreciate you just listening to who you are as a person. I wanted to take like the athlete out of it and
Yeah,
focus
for
on
sure.
who you are.
For sure.
And I think that you've not only inspired me, but I can definitely see so many other people getting inspired by what you said, because it's all so true how
Yeah.
humble you are, the humility.
Thank you.
So thank you for traveling out here today and doing this podcast.
For sure, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, there you guys have it, Memphis finest. From falling in love with the game of football at the age of 6 to now entering into the NFL draft. It's safe to say that a lot of things for Big O has changed since he left college. But one thing remains the same. O cares.